What's up, everybody? It's me, Bryson Booker, and I wanted to do this video because I just got a new microphone the other day, this week, actually Monday. And so what I wanted to do is this mic comparison because I love Shure microphones. That's Shure microphones. If you're a live sound engineer, you know about Shure microphones. You've probably been using Shure microphones ever since you started doing sound, which is the case for me. And I'm still using it, and I'm probably always going to use Shure because they're great sounding, reliable, and rugged microphones that you can literally put in front of any person, any artist, and they'll be okay with it, because they just sound great. It's a sound that we all love and know. And they're affordable too. So today I have 3 Shure microphones. This is one of them. And they're kind of tailored for different applications. And I'll let you hear them each one by one. I'll kind of give you a brief description of each one. But I have 3 of them here. The first one is this one. This is the PG48. This, out of the bunch that I have, is the most affordable microphone. Last time I checked, this microphone in particular was just $34 at Guitar Center. And this microphone has a cardioid pickup, so it generally picks up in front of the microphone and not on the side that much. It's a cardioid microphone, generally tailored for speaking applications. So if you're using this mic, to give a presentation or to give a little Easter speech or Christmas speech, it's great for those type of applications. Obviously, you hear me speaking on it now, and it kind of has a warm sound to it. This microphone doesn't really have a brighten mid-range. It's kind of like a mellow mid-range, and it kind of relies on treble and bass for it. I do have a slight mid-boost, just a little bit, at 2.5 kilohertz. By the way, I'm using my Behringer Xenix 802 mixer to record this. The EQ is now set flat. I had a little slight mid-range boost there to, supplement my voice here, but now the EQ is set flat, and I'm monitoring what I'm hearing through these Shure SH240s, I think. Let me just check that. Oh no, the SRH440s. So yeah, as you can see, I love Shure. It's a good brand, and this is a pretty decent mic. Has an on and off switch, so la 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 la. You just heard that, so you can turn it off and on. So when you're done with your speech, or if you're done singing karaoke stuff, you can turn it off. And that's basically it. It's rugged. I wouldn't say it's as rugged as the next microphone I'm about to demo, or the last microphone I'm about to demo. But it's pretty decent, It's firm, It's a pretty good sounding, just overall in general, just great speaking mic. I can't really sing, but I have tested this mic on a singer, and I wasn't really satisfied with it. I had to do a lot of work on my EQ to get it to sound decent enough to cut through a mix. So I didn't really like this mic for singing, but for speaking, when I'm doing sound for little conferences or little speaking engagements that just require a voice announcement and some music, I'll bring this little guy along because it's a great sounding mic for speaking environments, speaking engagements. Now, let's move on to the next mic, the SM48 from Shure. This is the limited edition one. So let's move on. Alright, there we go. I'm back. Probably a little too loud there. There we go. Check, check, check. There we go. That's good. Okay, so this is the SM48 from Shure. This is the next step up from basically the PG series. Now we're starting to get into the SM series. This microphone is about $40. So it's actually a step up, obviously, from this in price as well. It's either $40 or $50. Don't take my word on that. But when I bought this at Guitar Center, it costed about $40. This is a limited edition white microphone. I don't believe they still sell this model. I can't really remember if they sold it or not still. But this is the limited edition white version. But it also comes in standard black. It has no on and off switch. Same pickup, cardioid pickup. Picks up in front of the microphone, not on the sides. One thing I failed to mention about the PG48 as well as this one is the proximity effect. The proximity effect is when low notes, bass frequencies are boosted just naturally as you move up to the microphone. The PG48 has a lot of proximity effect. This one kind of has a little bit, it's there, it's noticeable. When I pull the microphone back from my mouth, it's not there that much, but when I have it up close, the gain kind of increases a little bit because of the low frequencies. This mic was also designed for speaking, but in my opinion, it's also great for singing. Background vocals are a great contender with this microphone. I use this microphone on background vocals. It's perfect. Lead vocals, normally when I'm doing lead vocals, if it doesn't already sound great through my mixer, sometimes if I want it to cut through, I'll boost the highs a little bit like I just did, or I'll cut some of the low frequencies out like I'm doing now to make it stand out a little bit more. The console that I use this microphone with, besides this Behringer Xenix, is a Mackie SR32. And so when you're dealing with those type of consoles, typically it's a sweepable mid console. So if it's at 600 hertz, I'll sweep it down to 150 and then bring some of my mid-range gain down, and it sounds perfect. It'll cut through a mix pretty good without having to boost anything else on the console. But it does sound great for speaking. It sounds a bit better than the PG48. The mid-range is more defined. Definitely more defined than the PG48. You could tell it's there, and you don't really have to do a lot of work on it to make it sound pretty good in a mix if you're just speaking. If you're singing, you might have to cut some of that low-mid information out just a little bit. But once you do that, it'll be perfect. So this is, once again, the SM48. Okay, so this is the last microphone of the bunch. This is the industry standard SM58. I just bought this. I bought it on Monday. This is my first SM58. I've never had this microphone before this time. And I was so happy to get it, This is the industry standard. This is the highest priced microphone out of the three here. This one is $99. But if you round it up, plus tax, it's basically $100 for this mic. This is the best mic for live vocals, period. Out of the two that I just showed you, this is the best one for live vocals. The mid-range, the upper mid-range is brightened a bit, so, it can cut through a mix, and if you wanted it to cut a little bit more, or if you wanted to sit it back in the mix, you could kind of reduce the mids a little bit and it'll sound good. Or heck, if you just wanted to leave the EQ flat and not even touch it, which is recommended, then it'll sound even great if you just leave it flat. It's a great sounding mic. The ruggedest mic out of the two. This is built like a tank, literally. It doesn't have much handling noise, and the proximity effect is barely even there. The low frequencies are barely boosted when I speak directly into the microphone. And like I said, it's rugged. This thing is built like a tank. The body is firm. The grill is it's rugged. It feels great, and it is great because it won't break easily. It's not as cheaply made. And that being said, these two aren't cheaply made, but for some reason, I guess due to age, I had some problems with the PG-48. Sometimes you have to be careful when you're taking your microphone cable out of it, or else you'll kind of pull this whole thing out. The XLR port, XLR port, you'll kind of pull that out. So be careful when you're taking your microphone cable out. That's the only problem I had with the PG-48 reliability-wise, but this is the cream of the crop. Basically, the SM58 is the most rugged, sounds the best, and it does cost the most, but the quality you get from it, whether you speak or sing, is second to none. It's great. I love it. Do these mics have their application? Yes. Are these mics great for singing and speaking? Yes. But the best one out of all of them has to be the SM58. But they're all great for their intended applications, all of them. From the SM58 to the 48 to the PG-48. They're all great for their intended applications. And they're from Shure. So you're going to get good quality whenever you pick them up. So this is my comparison of all three of these microphones, SM58, SM48, and the PG-48. So I hope you enjoyed it. Catch you next time.